weighed in at 205, and Joe Hurst weighed in at 208. Kelly's training out of Alliance Jiu-Jitsu, and Joe Hurst is training out of Hurst BJJ. It's listed here that Joe Hurst is a third-degree black belt, where Kelly is listed just as a black belt, but he's got one stripe. So we'll see how this plays out. A couple older competitors here, so this is probably going to be a more technical matchup. Definitely be a much more respectful matchup, as these guys have been in the sport for a long time and they've learned to respect each other and not try to brag or boast or anything over the top of their opponents.
Couple of, as you noted, couple of sizable differences here. Kelly Rundle at age 53 and Joe Hurst at age 45. Not that big a deal, but Kelly's height at 6'5".
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up in the blue corner for Mr. Joe Hurst.
Kelly standing at 6'5" and Joe standing at 5'9". Equal weight at right at 205 pounds.
And right away you see the respect difference in the older competitors. He takes his time walking out slow. He walks straight up to his opponent, shakes his hand before the ref even calls him to the center to do so.
Yep, ready.
Ready? Go.
And here we go with our main event, guys.
Feeling out here, but both active. We have this neutral lapel and sleeve control position.
Kelly's circling a lot. They get squared back up. Both respectfully let go of each other's gi to circle back to the middle, so that way nobody takes
Joe
an unfair
actually
advantage.
let go of his grips there before the ref said anything, just because he saw his opponent starting to head towards the outside of the ring. Back to that respect we were talking about. Yeah.
Kelly pulls guard.
So similar to our first matchup of the night, actually, we have that mismatch in size here. So we'll see what Kelly can do with the long legs and a full closed guard.
Looks like he's trying to get his foot on the hip, but it looks like Joe Hurst is staying in insanely tight to be able to allow those long legs to not get to the hip. That's one advantage of being short.
Yeah, it's a tough body type that Joe has to deal with in a full closed guard. If he locks his core and his extremities down, it's really hard to get him moving one way or another.
As he gets his weight going and almost gets a sweep over, but Joe recognizes it and squares his hips up. And this is one of those matchups where the smallest mistake could lead to the end of the match right here as well. Both very seasoned guys.
Kelly trying to get Joe's head to the other side.
Joe's very aware of that, though, and he knows he needs to keep his head centered on him. Kelly is opening his guard to try to swim his hips out, so that's just showing you how tight Joe's base is on top here. He does get a foot in the hip now, and this can be bad for Joe, because when a tall guy gets a foot in the hip, it's very hard to get that foot out, and Kelly actually releases it. Underhooking Joe's left shoulder. We'll see if he's trying to set something else up or if he's trying to attack that arm here. Lets it go and swims back to a square guard here. Trying to fight and get his left foot in the hip now. As Joe kicks his right leg back and frees that. Kelly getting a real deep lapel grip here, almost behind his head. Lets that go.
Kelly keeps looking for a sleeve, control the sleeve, and then controlling the opposite side knee.
I think he's trying
for
to
a flower sweep.
I was just gonna say, I think he's trying to utilize his length on a sweep, trying to go for those grips here. But Joe's base is very solid. You're really gonna have to get him moving to get that weight over. Might have to hit a pretty hard explosion to do it here. Where both of these guys probably don't like to explode into things too much.
Kelly trying to cut his angle there.
Every time he gets a really hard angle, Joe's close knee comes up off the mat, and see if he can recognize that and utilize it to maybe hit the other direction as Joe plants that knee.
Pretty classic, high level, a lot of experience, black belt, close guard versus, the guy on top trying to open and pass.
Kelly's now trying to go for a cross-side lapel grip here. Joe's very experienced, and he fishes his head back to the other side, though.
Kelly trying to utilize his own lapel now.
Tucks it underneath his back, maybe to try to bait Joe into reaching for that lapel on the other side, therefore putting his hand on the mat or to the side of Kelly. Joe pressuring in really hard now.
Yeah, Joe actually standing in Kelly's guard. Now drops to a knee.
And just over halfway through this fight,
good.
We're still in the same position ever since Kelly has pulled his guard. And they're both just looking for a very small opportunity here, and if one of them gets it, you'll see him really try to capitalize on it.
Something surprising here to note is that Joe's actually keeping his head about halfway. He's not really utilizing a posture all the way down or a posture all the way up and back position, which is usually not a good position to be in a full closed guard. But Joe seems to be comfortable there, and Kelly's not really able to utilize it against him. So
looks like it's putting just enough pressure down to keep Kelly from swinging his hips too much, and also allow him to move just a little bit. And it keeps him from sitting back too far against a really tall opponent, which could be dangerous, sitting back really far. But like you said, he is in a dangerous position. As you can see Kelly attacking the lapels here. If he was all the way down or all the way up, Kelly wouldn't be able to attack the lapels as easily. We got 3 minutes to go in this fight. Let's see if any one of them decides to turn it up here.
Joe keeping his chin down as Kelly goes for that cross collar choke.
It was a pretty loose cross collar choke. Maybe he was trying to set him up to actually reach and defend it.
Yeah, I think Joe's a little too experienced for that.
Yeah, I think he's too savvy to hit him with your day one setups. You're gonna have to really, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves in advance to catch him in something here. Especially with a base like Joe has, it's very hard to get him moving. So once you do get him moving, you have to move yourself and not stop, and allow him to plant his weight back on top of you like he is right now as he stands up into Kelly's guard again. Kelly's riding his guard up high as he stands up, though, which is the correct thing to do. And Joe notices it and actually postures back and rides the guard down. Both
athletes catching their breath here for a second.
This might not look very taxing on your body, but this is a very tough position to actually be attacking and defending from, because you have to utilize a lot of your body's muscles to square your hips up with someone who's active, and to get somebody who's got a base like Joe moving, you have to use a lot of muscle too.
Kelly's utilizing a totally open guard now. Let's see if Joe takes advantage of that. And the guard is
as you
back
say that,
closed
Kelly
again.
closes it, and really low as well. He rides it back up just a touch.
Closing in on 1 minute left in this fight.
1 minute, guys. They both know there's a minute left. Looks like Kelly's trying to move a little more now. Try to catch him in something here. Joe seems to be getting him pretty squared up with him though. "30 seconds to go. Someone's gonna have to explode to get something here."
In this position, Kelly definitely has the advantage. Joe would have to pass the guard in order to make anything happen.
Tries to uproot him there.
Come on, Johnny, you got it. You got this. Come on, Johnny.
He said 20-minute match? The corner said halfway through. No, 15. We apologize. This is a 15-minute match, not a 10-minute match. So they both have a little more time to work than we had thought.
Good job, Joe.
Got it. Come on, Johnny.
I told him 1 minute.
You told him that? He said it.
It made him work a little.
Yeah. Gonna square him back up into the middle here. This is a good thing to happen in the last part of the fight, because as soon as that ref says starts, we'll see who really wants to be active right away. As soon as he says go, show her respect before they restart, and then they're going. And Joe, first thing he does is postures that base right into Kelly's hips. Looks like Kelly's legs might be getting a little tired here. He keeps opening his guard, and his legs are dropping around Joe's hips. And then when he realizes it, he readjusts them. So his legs might be getting tired from trying to hip out. Joe's trying to work past there. Kelly sat up and got control of his arm to get his leg back around him, though.
You got it, Joe.
He's underhooking that elbow again. He's got him leaning. He's got him moving. Joe sits back for an ankle. Recognized he didn't have it and came straight back into the...
No heel hooks.
Big explosion by Joe there. It looked like he was going for a heel hook.
But he was told no heel hooks, so that's what the slap was there that you guys saw. He was apologizing. Said he wasn't really going for a heel hook. He was going for something else.
You got it, Joe.
Joe's getting urged by his corner to put his knee up the center and try to slice. He needs to focus on feeling Kelly's guard, and when it opens, that's when he needs to explode and sit back and get that knee up if he wants to pass. Kelly's trying to push his head to the side, and I don't think it's going to be that easy just to push Joe's head to the side. He's a pretty solid guy.
Yeah, Joe's base has been giving Kelly a hard time this whole match.
It's really tough to get anything going with a guy who can square his base up on you so easily and so fast. And when he does it, he puts a lot of weight on it to make it even hard for you to move whatsoever. It can be disheartening. But Kelly doesn't seem to be disheartened. He keeps trying to fight for arms, fight for control, fight for the lapels. He's opening his guard, putting feet in the hips. And Joe keeps fighting it and squaring right back up with them. Kelly's actually got Joe's hip opened up right now. Let's see if he utilizes it. He's got his hip opened up a lot right now. Actually has his base leaning if he really attacks it. And he just uses it to rise his guard up. As Joe's corner is telling him to square up, but he's not now.
Vernon, 1 minute. Vernon, 1 minute.
1 minute left in this match now. Joe's corner telling him to go for broke. You either win or draw. He sits back, just try to lock up a leg. Good scramble here. Let's see who's got the gas to keep scrambling.
Come on, Joe.
Kelly gets on top position and stops on the front head for the control here.
Come on, Joe, you got this. Come on, Joe.
Back up.
Fall off the mat there in a scramble, and we'll see where they restart.
40 seconds left on the clock. 40 seconds.
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe, you got it.
We're gonna start with an almost mount position.
Come on, Joe.
So he's got short time. He's gonna attack pretty viciously here. Joe's corner is telling him to move. Looks like he's worried about defending and maybe just not getting submitted here.
Come on, Joe. Watch the gate. Watch the gate.
Kelly's trying to wrap his own gear around Joe's head.
Turn, Joe. You got this, Joe. Come on, Joe.
Time.
Real technical matchup as they fight to a draw here, which is not uncommon in a submission only against two high level guys.
Huge show of respect here between both guys. It was really good match. You know, very technical. It's hard, like we said before, at the higher levels like that. The smallest little mistake, you know, you pick the technique and it's the wrong one. You know, that could be the end of the match for you. So.
Oh man.
It's a draw.